On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out if the taste buds are ready to say goodbye to the Guardians of the Galaxy. If the taste buds are ready to say goodbye to Titans. And if the taste buds are ready to say goodbye to the CW in general. All of that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show.
What's up, nerds? Welcome to the Superhero Show, the only show on the internet that reviews every single live-action television show based on a comic book, as well as some of the animated ones. My name is Cassie, and I will be the host for this episode. I do, of course, have all of my good friends here. First of all, there's Ryan.
What is up, Cassie?
What?
I was so nervous right there that I thought you were going to say, like, oh, Caitlin's here, or, oh, Cassie, or Mike is here. But you didn't say that. You said Ryan's here.
I said Ryan is here, Ryan. I will never betray you. I know we have lost this trust a couple of times, but hey, pinky promise right here, right now, I'll never betray you like that again.
But if you had said one of their names, I would have fucking thrown this table over. And I would have given you a tantrum, the likes you've never seen.
I know, and I couldn't deal with that tonight. Because, I mean, again, it's such a big table, and to watch you have to throw it every time is...
Do you know what you fucking hate about my tantrums? And this is bullshit on your part, is that I put my right fist down with my right foot, and you like a tantrum where I'm on my belly, and my right fist goes down with my left foot.
Yeah,
you know?
like, show me some depth, show me some coordination, show
Give me something to analyze.
Some fucking moves that are inspiring. I don't want, like, this little 1-2 march thing. I want it to be, like, something worth a tantrum and taking up my time.
I don't throw a tantrum unless I put a lot of thought behind it. And, like, I'm ready to go, bro.
I want it to be a performance fully. I want you so red, like you've been screaming for hours.
Plus, I know if I throw a bad tantrum, then you throw a tantrum about my tantrum, and then Mike and Caitlin just sit here watching us throw tantrums. Is that good? Is that good podcasting?
That's how we get the studio flowing. That's synergy, if I've ever heard it.
It's good vlogging.
Should we get into that?
We should get into that. Yeah.
It's about time.
You've
heard it here first. We're going to start vlogging so you can see Ryan's tantrums.
We should video Caitlin and Mike going, while they watch me and you tantrum on the floor as hard as we can.
Like, it's not showing us tantruming, it's just showing their face, like just their reactions to
We're
it.
Werner Herzog watching the Grizzly Man footage.
And Mike keeps going down, like his hand keeps going downstairs, but that's just to bring his foot closer to his...
It's for nothing weird.
Yeah. He wants to smell his feet while he watches us tantrum.
Yeah,
it's not weird.
That's fucking worse.
But you'd rather him jerk off?
And smell his feet? Maybe.
Oh, jeez.
I can't tell. I can't check in with my feelings right now on that one.
Why don't you introduce somebody else to the show?
I feel like we're on a roll here. It's going somewhere fun.
Caitlin, let's leave.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Mike is also here.
This is stochastic terrorism.
It's a what?
For you,
You said a big word.
give in
I
to
know.
Ryan's fucking threats every week and introduce him every week. Stochastic terrorism.
But, I mean, Mike, what else am I to do here? It's like when you have a kid that's unruly. Like, yes,
No,
it's
you're
bad.
defining stochastic terrorism for him.
Yeah.
Like, you're
What
literally
am I
doing
supposed
his
to
job.
do?
It's
I
not for
have
him,
to
it's
give
for
in
the
to
people.
threats.
Oh, good. It's for me.
I was going to say, this is for everyone else, because Mike threw out a big word, and I'm still just kind of discovering it myself.
The reason she does it is because I'm a star, and Cassie's a star, and you and Caitlin love watching stars while you sniff your goddamn feet. What is that, by the way? What is that? Why don't you... How about...
Yeah,
let's not
stop
ask
trying to
Cassie
turn
questions about why she introduced me first and why you're constantly smelling your dirty, sweaty feet.
You give us an explanation.
At least he's not jerking off.
Yet.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Look, if you haven't smelled something this good and oniony, you don't even know. Sorry I'm brave enough to go out there.
What does that, like, and stick your feet in onions?
Oh, Cassie,
No.
consummate host, is always like, I have some follow-up questions.
Listen, this is his time to shine. I gave you a hot.
Okay, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna sit back.
I gotta work with what Mike's giving me here, and it's Mike's time to shine. How you get those feet so stinky,
I'm
bro?
the Quentin Tarantino podcasting if I was in love with my own feet, not Uma Thurman's. It's just my natural scent. It's because I'm from Philly.
I think it's wild that you have this whole foot thing, and then there's no way you're making money off of this. You're just smelling them. Your little onion feet.
I'm just smelling my little onion
Shrek
feet. That's what my mom
How
used
would
to
your
call
feet
me.
rank on Wiki Feet? How they looking these days?
They're looking fine. I mean, the smell is really what makes them unique, and that's hard to get across the internet right now. I can draw little green lines.
They need what are those called? Glory holes for your feet.
They need glory holes for your feet. Hey,
we've been saying this for so long.
Ask Siri, where's the nearest glory hole for your feet?
It's about time. It's 2023. Let's get on it.
Stan Lee once said that every comic book is somebody's first comic book. Good intro, everyone.
This one's about comic books. Katelynn, what's going on with you?
My feet aren't stinky.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Nobody believes that.
You can hear it in your voice how stinky
You got sweatier while you said it.
Oh no.
She was like, they're not stinky.
Not stinky.
And you know what? If this is somebody's first episode, good. This is actually on the filth scale, not that bad compared to what it is.
Good.
It's important to know that we already recorded the Patreon and yet left this for the people who aren't paying.
We normally get a lot of this out of our system, and we saved a lot for you all.
And Patreon, we're all drinking fresh tea. We have monocles. We're like, I say.
But Katelynn, thank you for lying on the podcast and establishing yourself as a liar here.
Stinky.
We got that to look forward to on the rest of this. Also, to look forward to for everyone else on this podcast, we will be talking about comic book things because we're going to be talking about Gotham Knights, Riverdale, The Flash, Superman and Lois. We're even going to focus in on the Titans finale because we're going to say goodbye to it. But before that, let's go to our review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
On this week's episode of the MCU, James Gunn is back and ready to say goodbye as he heads over to DC land. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which came out last Friday, was allegedly our chance to say goodbye to all of these characters who've starred in a shockingly popular amount of trilogy of films. Sentence? Good sentence? In the final chapter, Rocket is dying, and it's up to the Guardians to get back to the lab where he was created in order to save him. This story is intercut with scenes of Rocket's horrifying origin, where he was experimented on by the movie's villain, the High Evolutionary, in order to create a more perfect world. Taste buds, I ask you this. Does Volume 3 have more of the first movie's high highs, or is the movie closer to Volume 2, which helped kickstart the Marvel era of welding together random scenes and calling it a movie?
I personally would say so much closer to Volume 1. I'm a Volume 2 naysayer. The further we get away from that movie, the more I dislike it. And this, look, it is still goofy and bad at times and simple. But for the most part, I love this movie. I think this is like my favorite one in a couple of years.
It definitely feels more closer to 1. I didn't get the much, it was random, but in the way that Guardians is, more meant to be random. I did feel like it was
a story.
They weren't throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and saying we got to get all of these cool scenes on the screen.
It wasn't Nowhere Forever. Like the Black Panther, the second Black Panther, just and here's 2 more people, and here's 2 more people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody's an Iron Man. You're an Iron Man now, and you're an Iron Man now.
They all had their purposes, and even the weird characters played their roles and stuff. It was overall, I felt a good one.
I mean, it sounds corny. It sounds like I grew up watching sitcoms, but I very much knew when Kraglin, James Gunn's brother,
yes, Sean,
was Cosmo, you're a bad dog. That throughout the course of the 2 hours, eventually he would say, Cosmo, you're a good dog.
Mm-hmm. Question.
And that's lame, but in movies like Wakanda Forever or Love and Thunder, where it was just these mishmash of scenes, we wouldn't even get that.
Not even a
payoff.
runner. I've a question about that runner, because I don't remember what Volume 1's runner was. Maybe it's Rocket stealing limbs. Volume 2's runner is notoriously one of the worst jokes in MCU history. Is there's a character named Taserface, and all the other characters just keep pointing out what a stupid name that is. That's the joke over and over and over again. Is bad dog, bad dog, bad dog, good dog a better runner than Taserface is stupid?
I mean, the thing that you have to think about is that, like, you have to. What your job is as a comedy is to, like, get us to a point where, like, you're saying, no, I don't want a regular Coke. I want a Diet Coke. And we're laughing. We don't know why. You know, like, we're just in the vibe so hard that we're laughing. That's something that Volume 3 was able to do that Volume 2 was never really able to do.
And I think for this specific runner, I do think having Borat Jr., I forget the actress's name, but the gal from Borat being the dog's voice, she crushed it and sold a lot of lines.
Who was Borat Jr.?
From Borat 2, the girl?
No,
Cosmo the dog, the Russian dog.
Okay. I was like, the girl.
The only Russian voice in this movie.
Got it. Okay.
She's Borat 2.
Yeah.
Borat Jr.
It had definitely had payoff, which improved it. There was overall, obviously, everyone's been talking about it. This was a rough watch.
I will never watch this movie again because it is just so rough to watch. And there's
Is it because that Sarah McLachlan was not singing in the background?
Yeah, at least like let us have a little bit of comfort while these animals are in cages.
Yeah.
I had heard about that before I went to see it. And so I was sort of ready, but nothing could prepare me for Rocket and his big guy saying, hurt?
Oh, yeah.
So sad. So fucking sad.
I'll reveal this later. There were 2 times where I cried in this movie. This was not one of them, though. I laughed wholeheartedly. I was like, animals, fuck you.
Yeah, you hate animals. You are saying.
I do.
If this is the honesty hour, I also had a bad time during this. I almost passed out. I don't know why. The fucking combo of like it almost like it being like animal body horror and then like them just getting thrown in dirty cages and stuff. Woozy. Like,
well, I mean,
the dirty cages fucked me up. I couldn't handle that.
Think about it, like what your life was before this year was like, oh, I'll go see that Guardians movie because Rocket makes me laugh. He's the funny one, right? I'll go see that. Oh my God, what am I watching?
The worst time.
And also, what I love is, so the High Evolutionary is probably going to be on the top of a lot of people's list for best, worst Marvel villain. Like, he's so evil. He's like, I need to make them perfect. Tell me how Floor the rabbit with spider legs and a jaw that can't open. Tell me how you're trying to make something perfect. But he's just a sadistic. He's Sid from Toy Story, but
he's
worse.
Sid from Toy Story, yeah.
There's no perfection in that.
Was there a scene where, because I don't know if this was explained, was there a scene where he just got shit-faced?
Yes.
There's one scene where like he broke open the doors and he was like, "Where's my fucking animals?"
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
He was clearly
just a drunk pervert wanting to like do things.
He was like mid treatment or something like that, and I was like,
So like a little bit of
something-
dilly dallying on the brain.
Yeah,
but,
there
like,
was something weird happening in there.
I think that like Mike and I were just talking about on a different podcast about getting your comeuppance. I do think that he got his comeuppance when there was a quick shot of what Rocket did to his face.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah.
you did this to me. And then it cut to Rocket, and then it cut back to him for 15 minutes of us just staring at his face, just going, "Look at me! Look at what you did to me!"
I love because what somebody's like, what happened to his face? And Rocket's like, that's not his face.
There is a lot of talk right now. Jonathan Majors, and he's got to go. What if High Evolutionary was a king? And this actor,
Love it.
who we saw in
Peacemaker
and the Suicide Squad, or just Peacemaker?
Just Peacemaker.
What if he were to take over? And I think that's fine. I want Jonathan Majors gone, but like he does seem to do a lot of the Nirvana. I'm talking quiet. Now I'm screaming.
Right. This actor does.
Yes.
But also, like, when a character is so fucked up, you got to do something to make it a little, like, it's just a little flourish on him. I don't mind it.
And he doesn't do that.
He will not be in jail for beating his wife.
Yeah.
There you go. And he doesn't do that in Peacemaker. So I think he did that for this.
It was a...
Right. This is his Kang. We'll see other Kang.
Yes.
Did you guys overall enjoy his performance?
I roll my not as much as like I'm so thankful for General Abbott from Sweet Tooth, which makes me enjoy every other villain performance. I thought he was fine. I thought he was mid.
But in like mid tier, not mid how the kids say it when they mean bad.
I thought he was mid-tier. I thought he was in like the middle third of all Marvel MCU villains.
I thought he was pretty
absolutely
good.
horrific. Yeah.
How did we feel about Gamora coming back and her whole little interaction with the crew and how I want to say just Chris Pratt, Star-Lord.
I loved it because I think Zoe Saldana is an underrated actress, and would you know what I loved? And I think a different writer-director would not have done this, is James Gunn kept her to be like, no, I'm not that person. I will never be that person. I've lived a different life. Fuck off. I think everybody else would have copped out and be like, I guess I do love you now.
Yeah, but what James Gunn is also capable of is making you think that she might change at any moment.
They did have so at the end I was like, she has potential to come back. Like they were all hugging, she walked away, but when she goes back to her Marauder,
The Ravagers.
family?
The Ravagers.
Marauders are fucking mutants, Cassie. Like that's from the X-Men. What are we doing
Sorry
here?
about it,
Like,
bro.
Fucking nerd.
But she's like, it's clear that that is her family.
Yes.
Like there's such a big welcome there, and they're all so happy, and she's so happy. Like that's where I was like, oh, okay, so it is like
The
that
thing
is
that-
her home.
The thing that Gunn does that makes you go, ugh, which like he's so hacky, and yet he has my heart is, I mean, the fact that he didn't make Star-Lord and Gamora get back together, that's amazing, first of all. It's like about like, I bet we were fun while they were back to back, and then she just goes on that ship and disappears.
Yeah.
That's fucking,
That's
that's
It's
good.
good shit.
That's the new Rock and Vin Diesel, shoulder to shoulder, staring in different directions, back to back. We have a new one.
Speaking of fucking Vin Diesel, was anyone else upset when he said more than I am Groot? Because it was like a Pikachu moment for me.
Okay, so I didn't cry here, but I was about to. But I think this is actually a wonderful moment.
Oh, okay.
Do you? I was confused. Does he actually? Can he say "I love you," or were we supposed to understand him in that moment?
Ooh.
Oh.
Like, did he learn some new language, or we just
We
spoke
finally learned
Groot
Groot.
for a second?
The whole movie, Gamora is like, why the fuck? What the fuck? He's saying, I am Groot. Why are you guys... Like, Groot would say, I am Groot, and then Rocket would be like, oh, that is a good point. We should take the Rocket 17 through the Vacilar 19 into the... And then she's confused the entire time, and then at the end, we can hear him, and now we
Our Groot.
are all Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
That-
okay.
I make
We have gone through 3, 5, 7 movies with these people, and now we can understand Groot. And that's clearly the intention.
That makes me like it better. I thought it was just an escalation of, at the end of the first one, he says, we are Groot. And so that this is the new Groot, because they're not the same character. It's why their faces will always look different. But I like that interpretation a lot.
There we go. I'm here to help for that.
I like that a lot better, too. And then it's better. But also, he sounded so much more like Vin Diesel in this one.
that was just
Yeah.
Vinny. That was Vin.
It was Vin Diesel this whole movie.
Yeah.
And they made him all jacked and like beefy like. And I'm like, they're just making a Vin Diesel tree.
It really made me think about. I know Vin Diesel is particular with his contracts. It really made me think of like if he was like down to the CGI, he was like, "You're gonna see my my back muscles," and I was like, "Bro, this is a bit much." Was there any pairing that like didn't work for you guys? Like sometimes Drax and Mantis can be a little off for me, but I found them delightful this one.
Nobody said that, Cassie. They're always great.
Yeah.
Who
what are you
is saying
talking
that?
about? And when sometimes
Sorry.
we've seen them in 2 projects be together, I guess. 3
Yeah.
now.
The Christmas special,
Number 2 Christmas
delightful.
special in this.
Also, is it weird that Mantis, like those big black eyes and the,
The antennae.
like the antennae,
Does it for you?
Should I go somewhere else? Yeah,
Yeah.
I should keep
Is she
this going.
smoking hot.
Who else do we got here to talk about? Oh, the ending with the dancing. Too much? Too cheesy? Or Guardians cheesy? 'Cause that
Guardians
was very
cheesy.
Christmas
Guardians
special.
cheesy.
Guardians cheesy. They've earned this. Florence of Florence and the Machine fame said that she
Yeah.
watched this ending and was like,
The
like,
way
she
my
started
song
crying,
was
yeah.
always intended.
"This is why I wrote this song."
Like the dog days are over.
I'm glad. I expected Cosmo to make a crack about the lyrics, and I'm glad she did not.
Yeah.
And
I could see if you were not bought into this movie, rolling your eyes at the end and be like, fuck all of this, like somebody who sat next to me the whole time with their arms crossed did. But I think if you're bought
wait,
in,
a stranger
it's-
or your wife?
It's my wife. My wife is no longer seeing Marvel movies.
No.
Because of this.
Oh no.
Mike, my wife stopped seeing Marvel movies just before Shang-Chi. It's such a
Before
good life.
Shang-Chi?
Yeah,
Shang-Chi was
it's
awesome.
amazing. Just you get to go see what movies you want, and she doesn't care. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, it's not going to change my behavior at all. If we were talking about cheese dickery, and I do think simplistic and Gunn's, he leans too hard. He's like, I can make dick jokes, so I can be very saccharine. Lila the Badger, just the refrain of like, friends are good to have.
Otter.
The otter.
Otter.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Okay, she was gray.
I mean,
so
James
thought
Gunn
it
has been
was-
doing all of his press in a shirt that says Lila and Rocket and Teefs and Floor. So like he's very much about that, and that's sort of how James Gunn directs movies. Is like that fucking disgusting wormy thing that you saw explode. I don't give a shit about that. It's all about the
no
four.
subtext.
Yeah, it's about the four people who bonded.
And he has said that Rocket journey is his journey, and the whole time Rocket's always been him. And so when I was like, you hit 40 and you went, wait, I should have friends? Like, I would love to hear him just tell, say more about what you're saying there, James, and how Rocket is you.
Was there we talked about how this was supposedly like the send off for all of them. We know they said Star-Lord is returning, so we know him. And we
Despite
also,
going full,
dude, I thought they were gonna kill him.
I
I
thought-
was fine with it.
I
He
was
went-
too. I was ready for it to happen.
he floated off into space, and he went from looking like Chris Pratt to looking like Mike in about 30 seconds.
He looked like a
Ouch.
marshmallow if you burnt it.
He looked like Chris Pratt looked on Parks and Rec.
Oh no!
Roasted.
I like a marshmallow.
But no, I don't want this to end. Like I like even thinking about like my favorite scene of Age of Ultron, a movie I don't like, where they're all trying to like pick up the hammer. I
Yes.
want the hangout, and like this is really the only series that gives us the hangout. And so if there was a volume 4, or like how comic books do it now with volume 1,
Right.
pretending that there wasn't the first 3, with Rocket and Phyla is the little girl, and Kraglin and Groot and
Adam Warlock.
Eyebrows.
Adam Warlock, who we have not talked about. He does have eyebrows for days. I want that. I want that. You know, but this was like a fine ending, and then Star-Lord is also going to be in something else.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yes.
he's on Earth now.
It could be Secret Wars. It could be, I don't know, maybe Kitty Pryde shows up, and now we get a Star-Lord and Kate Pryde romance.
He's always pushing for Kitty Pryde. The amount of times he'll randomly be like, or Kitty Pryde could show
Okay,
up.
I'm
she's
sorry,
very
Mike Ravano,
connected.
X-Men fan, born in the year that he was born, is always pushing for Kitty Pryde.
Ask me if I owned The Pride of the X-Men on VHS, the pilot to a show that did not go on. Yes, Cassie, yes,
my
I
gosh.
did.
Yeah.
Can I touch down on one thing real quick before we bounce? Is they go to land, like one of them says like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to that planet, and it's made out of flesh.
Ugh.
And like I rolled my eyes and I was like, James Gunn, come on, James Gunn, you're doing it again. And they go down and they dig through skin,
I loved how
and then
nasty
they're
it was.
inside of a thing, but they're always inside of a thing. Like it doesn't feel like the what do you call that Mandalorian thing that they film in, like the volume. It feels like they built a set,
Right.
And they are
There's
jumping
weight
around
to it.
and skin, and I fucking loved it. Like I would say, Mike, can you honestly, like, out of all the MCU, is this the most fleshed out set piece?
Yes, I can say that. I also think there's because we've seen a lot of noodle arms throughout the MCU. There's a lot of weight. You always feel Groot physically there. I think because of his low budget trauma background, James Gunn knows how to use effects in a way none of the other directors do, and he makes it feel real and lived in.
Yeah, and I mean, like, not only is the flesh thing, but Nathan Fillion's whole thing about like, yeah, oh, you have a bummer employee, I have
Yeah.
one too.
Yeah.
That went from funny to not. That's how it will always work. That is how he do. He reminds me of Sam Raimi. He reminds me of the Coen Brothers. I will always push this joke to as like I will wring every drip of this joke out like until it's not funny anymore. I fucking like this movie, dude.
Yeah, we can end it with overall ranking. Is this top tier for everyone?
Can I say top middle?
Top middle? Fair enough.
Top middle of the third.
Mike?
I don't know what that sentence meant, but I agreed.
Top, so like, divide everything into thirds. This is top middle of the third. Top middle.
I think top middle is
Top middle.
because it's
Top-
not like top
top
five,
middle.
but yeah, top middle. I would say, and
I'll give
if we're allowed a final word things, just to talk about Will Poulter. One, he plays Adam Warlock eyebrows. He's great in everything he's in. I want to see him in more. But Adam Warlock is such a stern, stiff, characterless character in the comics. I loved making a dummy. Maybe there's Adam Warlock stands out there who are like, that's not my Adam Warlock, but I'm so glad they did what they did with him.
I mean, he's borderline Weekend at Warlocks, right? Like, he is a dumb dead baby.
Yes.
And he's almost like, where's my nipple to lick from? Can I go through my, before Katelynn goes, can I go through my crying moments?
Oh, yes, please.
So it was not anything that had to do with Young Rocket. When he said, hurt? that was rough. But the two things were, one, Nebula, fucking cunt all the time. Just a terrible teammate. And then finds out that Rocket is alive and loses it. You know what? I'm going to lose it too, Nebula. We're going to do it together. Number two, and this would not have affected me, let's say, 2.5 years ago. 24.
Approximately.
But it's going to be hard for me to explain this right now. Nebula says, you're not Drax the Destroyer. You're Drax the father. You're Drax the daddy. Woo! Oh, guys. After he had learned how to get all the kids to listen to him. And like,
he did the monkey dance.
Oh, God. You're Drax the daddy. He's been trying to kill Thanos for what? Literally 15 years? Whew.
He's the daddy now.
Got dusty. Katelynn, I know you said this was a one and done for you, but how did it rank?
So I think it was a great movie, but I don't want to watch it again because there was too much flesh, body horror, the poor animals. I just feel so bad watching it.
Yeah.
And I like watching fun movies. I'm going to put this like mid tier of like Marvel because I like the dumb and fun ones the best.
Gotcha.
Which I love. Volume 1 was like a lot more fun. Like, you don't feel things as much and you don't end up crying the whole fucking movie. Because this movie, I was just like, I am sobbing. And I feel so horrible for these animals. I feel so bad. But it was a good movie. I'm not going to say it's a bad one.
What was your biggest room got dusty, Katelynn?
When all of the fucking animals died. When they all just got fucking capped, like pop, 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 pop. Like, it's like, we're getting out. We're fine. We're going to go on the spaceship. I know how to do it. Rocket had a plan. And then each one of his friends fell right in front of him and died. And it was just like, whoo.
And then Rocket was like, can I come with you?
Yeah.
And we knew that Lila...
that was...
that got me. That fucking got me.
We knew that Lila was like, yes, but not yet. We were like, ugh, let's go, Rocket.
Yeah.
James Gunn is very good at this very dumb, very easy, obvious stuff.
Yeah.
But
that's why I'm sort of stoked for him to do Superman.
Yes.
That's what Superman is.
Right. But nobody else is good at that. It is so. It is impressive that he's the only one who's like, can you guys not see the fucking Matrix right here? It's so easy to do this.
And look, obviously, I'm going to be, when Superman Legacy comes out, written and directed by James Gunn, I'm going to be out there with my Zack Snyder sign saying, bring back the Snyderverse. Like, that's all I want to see. Because that's how good movies are made.
Ryan is who he is.
My biggest dusty moment, if I may, is when
please.
Rocket is alive now. He's fully alive, and they hug. And that's the one. The other ones are like, oh, this is sad. It's expected. They were just hugging, and I burst into tears. I was like, oh, God.
They all really do love each other.
And
then Eyebrows joins in, and it's...
But see, like
that one, I love that part, though. I did love that.
That's sort of what's weird about us and what's weird about James Gunn is that if Rocket had died, dry eyes.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't have mattered. But, like, Rocket coming back alive, we're just like, oh.
Two best friends are hugging now.
He's like, oh, friends, I see you, James.
Friends are family, family's friends. I can't take
Was it about friends, James?
And also, I would like to say goodbye to Space Hog and their song In the Meantime, a song that only I knew about. That was my song. And now it's in the movie, and it's gone forever. So that sucks.
I felt that way about Radiohead a little bit. Nobody knows about Creep.
Yeah.
Never heard that song.
People don't know that the four of us are in a music league. And 2 months ago, if I had put in the song Space Hog, or In the Meantime by Space Hog, then that song would have got so many points. And now it would get negative points.
We would throw things at you.
Get fucking dunked on. All right, official rating for it, Guardians of the Galaxy, 4 friends all the way. That is all the time we have. We're going to go on to our main event, which is Titans. In the season finale of Titans, we open up and Starboy is dead and Trigon has risen just in time for Sebastian to steal Daddy's heart and drink his last blood to become Brother Blood. Brother Blood heads to Star Labs for Project Icarus, aka a fucking wormhole machine that needs the power of 10,000 suns, aka Starfire's Blue Blast. Blood Brother tricks Starfire into becoming his battery so he could smash Earth and Tarmaran together. Well, the Titans come in and save the day with the power of friendship and big punches. To make sure Blood Brother is dead, Starfire flies to the sky and sacrifices herself to take him out. In the end, no one stays dead and everyone goes off on their own adventure to discover themselves. Taste buds, I ask you this. Did this finale do Titans justice?
It did because Dick Grayson is not in it that much.
That was big ups on them for that.
At one point, I can't remember his name, but somebody walks in with a Robin costume, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that looks really good."
Robin 3.0.
Yeah, and like I was just thinking, be the new Robin. Like, just be anyone other than this guy. Like this. I think the show has always suffered from the severe lack of a charismatic lead. Like. I like Starfire. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Cora.
Yes.
Cora.
And
Corey?
Beast Boy is...
Gar
is whatever. And Raven's fine. But I think that
Rachel.
The biggest suffering was Nightwing. He was just... Shut the fuck up, dude. Just shut the fuck up.
Like, he's the one, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's Mr. Fuck Batman. And he's the one who did it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, there was always like... Yes, the lines are the lines, but his delivery of them, like his person, the way he embodies Dick Grayson.
Well, think about it like if he was, and I'm not saying, like, look, we don't have the budget, but like, what if that was Philip Seymour Hoffman or Joaquin Phoenix or like Jamie Foxx or like an actor
who did something with it?
Yeah, then like you could do something with it.
He's literally just a hot face and a hot body, and
is
like
he, though? He's the most boring looking dude I've ever seen in my life.
He's like not ugly.
Like, it makes me bummed that him and like Starfire end up together because I'm just like the whole time I'm like, girls, spend some time outside from this group because you can do better. Mm-hmm. There's better out there for you.
There's like no chemistry between them either.
Yeah,
and like,
well, I think he's a chemistry vacuum, you know. So like. There are actors like Philip Seymour Hoffman where like, I will make the chemistry happen no matter what. And then there's other actors who are like, no matter what, I talk like this and there's nothing we can do.
Mm-hmm.
It also drove me insane. I jump ahead a bit, but when he's going against Blood Brother, like, why was he able to hold him off so long?
I was thinking about the whole time because Blood Brother was so fucking powerful that he couldn't be destroyed by anyone but Starfire killing herself with 1,000 suns, or whatever.
Yeah,
but Nightwing goes like this.
But his good beady bats, you know, it was good enough beating. And then that whole scene where the Titans were able to take on this huge guy and like somehow defeat him with literally the power of friendship was how
hope.
The power
a little bit of hope.
Power of hope and friendship is what got what's her
like
face?
Barack Obama
right now. That's what Titans does to her. Malia.
Malia. Also, Brother Blood at one point says, sorry, I drank his heart. I drank his evil. Mm-hmm. He says, I drank his evil.
Yeah.
Go find, what if you went and found a nice person? Like, drink his heart. Wouldn't you then be nice? Like, then we wouldn't have to do this.
Also,
like, just go be nice.
We watched the first episode of this season, right? Mm-hmm. And he's mad, and he became evil because someone didn't like his game, and they
were mean about his video game.
Video game.
The fucking video game aspect of this is mind-blowingly stupid.
And then I forgot about that until there was a point where he was at Star Labs, and she was like, "You were the reason my video game didn't come out. None of this would have happened if you would have let my video game happen." It's like, oh my god,
it's a classic. That's a classic line of dialogue. If you were a 1980s cartoon,
yeah.
Maybe not a 2020s live action TV show. Also, didn't somebody before their last blow, it might have been Nightwing, it's always Nightwing, but somebody like before they were like about to punch him to his death was like, and your video game sucked.
Yes. This was either Beast or Robin. It was one of the two. Because it was one of the ones that I was like, you're kind of one of the better ones. And then they gave that line and I was like, fuck off. Like,
so like these 65-year-old men writing the show are like, what do children like today?
What would be devastating to them? Your video game was mid at best.
I find it to be sus and not lit at all.
No cap.
No, that was garbage. The fact that we had such high stakes, like we watched this dude kill his demon daddy, drink his blood, and then the one thing he kept bringing up to everybody was like, if it wasn't for my fucking video game, if you guys would have rated it 5 stars, I wouldn't have to do this.
Literally had just killed, like, is it Superboy? Is that his name?
Yeah, I think
It's
Superboy.
The
our
Klex,
name for him, yeah.
the Klex guy, my little Klex boy, he murdered, and then this big old devil-looking guy murdered by brother blood, but like a couple of taser like sticks brought him down.
I think
It's
that's
powerful sticks.
in Avengers Endgame, or what was the one before that? Infinity War. They put Hulk out, right? Like they took Hulk out because then we can't have a real battle.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem with Titans is like just make them all street level
Yeah.
or have different bad guys. But like they were like, oh no, we'll fight god level people
Yeah.
with Nightwing's stickies, and then we'll have super Connor can't come out at the end.
Because I could believe Connor like fighting the god guy and Starfire. Those are the two that make sense because they're the two more powerful ones.
Yeah.
But fucking the street guy,
The street guy.
the guy with no actual powers but good ass flips and hits. No,
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Are you, because I guess Nightwing and Coriander are in a relationship with the least chemistry in TV history. Are you the Coriander in your relationship, your current relationships, of like, sometimes my eyes sort of glaze out and I go for full-on room-ruining rage? Or are you the dicks in the relationship and just be like, oh, no, I'm running?
Can it be both?
Cassie, do you really Coriander out sometimes?
Rage out? Yeah, bro. I go full Hulk.
I don't believe you. Do you rage out?
of course. Look at me.
I believe
100%
Caitlyn
rage.
way before Cassie.
100% rage muscles.
All I do is rage.
Like, is your husband ever so fucking stupid? You have no choice but just to rage out.
Just to rage out? No, I guess I'm more of a Dick Grayson then.
Yeah, I think I'm a Dick
just
Grayson.
like,
too.
Damn it, are we all Dick Graysons?
Damn it.
The podcast of Dick
Damn it,
Graysons.
we're just a bunch of
That's why
dicks.
we're hating on him so much. We're like, hey, fuck this guy.
That's why our ass looks so good, though.
You know what Dick Graysons do that can't like know how to do like martial arts? They start a fucking podcast and
Yeah.
just like deal with their rage against their partners.
This is depressing. Yeah.
My wife is so mean to me. But no, we're gonna do this podcast instead, and it's gonna be fun.
The other thing that was bugging me during this big moment is like, I was watching it on a small screen, so let me know if I'm correct.
And when you say small screen, you mean you have a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, and I hook it up, and I
Literally the size of the screen you watched it on. That's not even a joke. You said it as a joke, but it's not the lie.
it's a tiny screen.
Caitlin owns a full-size movie theater in her house.
Which is what I watch this on.
And Cassie's like, can I watch it with you? And Caitlin's like, I don't
I said
think
no.
so.
I don't think
Sorry.
so. Plug in the adapter from my big ass screen to your little Game Boy.
Yeah.
We'll watch it on there.
Cassie was able to sit in the other room, though, and listen to it while I watched it.
The
so,
sound, you got the sound.
Yeah.
It was honestly sound development on point. The team, give them a raise.
I
They
do have to
worth it.
say, when I was watching the wrong episode of this season, and then you came in, you're like, wow, this sounds worse than CW. So
Yeah.
you're probably watching the wrong thing.
What does it say on the door to the movie theater that Caitlin built and only Caitlin can go in? Like, does it say Caitlin only or no girls allowed? What does it say?
It says Caitlin's nasty time. Stay away.
And that's a sign you respect.
But she's in there watching like 2001: A Space Odyssey. She's watching like classic movies.
Yeah.
She's watching all of these like 35 millimeter films. And
But
you
it's only
can't
for
get-
her.
It's my nasty time.
Hey, Cassie, do you want to watch 2001? I'm gonna go in the movie theater. Can you just watch it on your phone?
You watch it on your tiny fucking screen.
And then we'll talk about it later.
And then
We'll do a little
reconvene.
backyard pod.
Did you guys like, obviously, I thought they were like, this is the finale. This is probably our goodbye to Titans. Is it confirmed goodbye to Titans?
Yes. I
Thank
don't-
God.
Okay.
I mean, the only place it could go is to HBO Max, and HBO Max said, "No, thank you."
They're not picking up anything. So
Right. This is it.
I had hope going into this. I was like, you guys could kill all of these characters and
reals.
It'll be fine. The world will move on and you can at least commit to being like the dark, edgy Titans. Like if you started off with fuck Batman, I want them all dead at the end. But we didn't get that at all. Everyone is alive.
Well, we got in the hallway. There's a hallway fight where like they're marching down the hallway towards the bad guy and they're like, I'm going to use my fucking powers. And then somebody else is like, I'm also going to use my fucking powers. Yeah. It's like, oh shit, guys, we have 4 fucks left. What are we going to do?
Where else can we throw these in?
The CGI was so bad, guys. Can I just say that? I just had to budget.
You didn't like Demon Daddy? Demon Daddy CGI?
Oh, Demon Daddy, putting his hand up against his lava spa, just like
It was
smacking it because he's dying.
He was a chill, he was almost like Vacation Dad vibes before he died.
So he had 2 rows of eyes. I don't know if you guys saw. He had like spider eyes.
We don't have the same screen, so not all of us can see that.
Okay.
Oh, really? Because I saw it in 4K on a giant wall. That's weird that you just saw it. Would you see it on your phone?
The 4 eyes, they would like merge into each other at some point. Like it was so bad.
On my tiny screen, all I could see was shredded Demon Daddy, and I was like, they put the work in. The team did it.
Cassie's horny as the weirdest part of horny. But also, they did the thing of like, they cut away. So like, Demon Daddy's murder happened off screen while some characters were watching, being like, whoa, my God, that's so fucked up. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Because that saves millions of dollars.
So much.
Have it happen off screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we had Crypto Boy, Superboy,
Connor,
Bald Boy.
He lost his hair.
Supposedly dead. Did you guys believe for a second that he would not come back to life?
What I was hoping for is that he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
But Crypto,
the dog,
licking the face.
Who I thought Crypto was going to save the day because like when they brought back all of the materials back to a table in the RV, they have like this rock star RV that they do all of their detectiving in, and so they brought all the material back, and Crypto just like puts his paws up, and he's like, "What are we looking at?" Okay, like he's just like part of the team. I thought Crypto was going to be the one to like.
God, that would have been so fucking good.
Yeah.
God, no, you know what? I was like, this one, it was bad, but it wasn't garbage. Now it's fucking garbage because it didn't give us that.
But like when you guys think about this show, and we've watched like what 4, 5, 6 episodes throughout the whole thing, is it Gotham Knights bad?
It still lives in this weird thing where it's a bummer because it has moments of potential. Like there's still again, I knew it wasn't CW bad because there is something there.
Because like there's multiple times throughout watching this where I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, like it has moments where you're like, oh shit, and then it like fucking lets you down in the next 2 seconds.
Was there a moment during this? Besides the dog?
The dog was coming out, but I did like the moment when Superboy does come back to life right in time to kill
so he gets some laser eyes on his boys.
Blood Brother. Like it had an effective comic book moment for me where I was like, hell yeah, like he came out perfectly badass with full lasers, and I was like, fuck yeah, like that was a good comic book TV show moment, and that might have been the only one in this episode.
But just like Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., Ryan Reynolds, Chris Hemsworth, there are these people, like, if you can do the IP thing, like, do the comic book thing, but, like, cast somebody that, like, keeps us watching. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not the biggest Ryan Reynolds fan, and, like, I'm kind of done with Robert Downey Jr.'s shtick, but, like, somebody who has, like, that thing to keep us watching, then you can do the rest of the stuff in between, and just this show. Like, that's also the problem with Gotham Knights. Like, its lead is
bad.
Yawner cakes.
That's what, and like, I know it's a younger cast that the people were naming, but like Stargirl has a young cast, and they kept bringing us back. Like, there's potential. Like, you can get the people to have the flow and the connection and make it work, but these shows just do not have it. So bad.
Breck Bassinger, who has such a fake name. I always feel weird about saying it, but like, yeah, she is on that Ryan Reynolds list of like, okay, girl, I will follow you whatever storyline you have.
Yeah, and they'll give you dumb lines, and you're gonna make it work.
Or like, Katie Lott's White, what's her name from Legends of Tomorrow? That captain from the last season. Like, she will.
Yeah,
I will follow you.
Yeah. But yeah, the ending was exceptionally rough on this one because, again, I thought this was like the fucking edgy Titans, and we get them all. Blood Brother's dead. Everyone's safe. Starfire has.
She was blue, and then she blew up. She blew up, and then she was all red.
This was a bummer because this is supposed to be like a big moment, like this is the moment where you get like Starfire, and it was a bit of a letdown.
Do you guys want to go through my notes?
Yeah.
Gone. What's his name? The dad? Gone for?
Daddy. Oh, his name is Trigon.
Trigon. So nobody said try this gone for size.
Good.
Okay.
That's one for the writers. We'll send it off.
Why do these demon fucks have so many kids? Is what I wrote down. Like,
yeah.
They're just always about procreating.
Always so many
like,
kids.
Oh, what am I, an evil, disgusting demon? I'm gonna fucking have so many kids. Why? Stop. No. End your line.
No.
Is Sebastian to you guys a good guy's name or a bad guy's name?
Sebastian? It's a good guy's name.
It's like a
chill dude, like a fun guy.
If you say your name is Sebastian, I'm like, how are you evil?
Really? I don't trust a Sebastian.
I think Sebastian's got to be hot.
What
is wrong with you?
I've met some good Sebastians.
But no, what Caitlin is saying is that like if this evil Sebastian is hot, whatever.
I usually see them red hot and crabby,
What if they go by Bash? Does that make it better or worse?
Bastion?
Fucking
no. Bash.
Okay. Not like Cat Bastion. Bastion.
Ooh, that's a different
Hello,
story.
my name is Bastion.
See, Cassie, you didn't see where I was going. I went to the little underground, the Little Mermaid.
No, I saw Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like,
you were like Sebastian.
Yeah.
My final note is he pulled a you in what army on this one? So, like, at one point, the character says, like, oh, really? You in what army? And then Connor comes out and just fucking destroys him. And that reminds me of, guys, when I was, like, 9 years old, watching The Simpsons. And Bart was going up against a bully. And he said, the bully said, oh, really? You in what army? And he said, this one. And 1,000 kids came out with water balloons just to destroy that bully. That's a good fucking line.
And this one lived up to it?
No, of course not.
Dang, let down the Simpsons. You heard it here first.
Cassie, that's the segment called Ryan's Notes.
Can I give you one of Caitlin's notes in the segment called Caitlin's Notes?
Absolutely.
Everything that Ryan said, ditto.
Even the try this gong on or whatever.
Yeah, I had that word for word. It's so wild. I think he actually stole the first part of my notes.
Try this gone for size is what the line should have been, Cassie.
My apologies.
It was so wild. Okay. There is a moment Corey sacrifices herself in order to kill Blood Brother. And everyone's like, oh, she dead. And so then they go into a flashback, and there's a Christmas flashback.
This was the most confusing flashback. I was like, did we go forward in time?
Or can we wrap up the show now?
Yeah. I looked at the clock. We still had like 10 fucking minutes, and I was like, how Titans?
It was so unnecessary, and I was like, was this from a previous episode? Like, I don't know what this is. Are we now at Christmas? Yeah, I didn't know the timing. It was bad.
Dick Grayson is like to Gar, like, in my world, we call this a Christmas ornament. And Gar's like, we call this a Christmas ornament. Cool, Titans.
Great.
Thank you for all of this.
So you're telling me that there's the Grinch and Santa Claus? That's a lot to remember.
Like, we talk about demons and aliens and respect all of them too. I was like, fucking, we can end this.
And is Santa even going to bring us anything this year?
We even gonna get anything? But no, we come back to the present. Everybody gets their happy ending. It's them at a table, and they're all just talking about how they're gonna go their separate ways. And there's one I want to focus in, you guys. Raven's going to community college
At Bloodhaven.
What?
Which is crazy, because if you listen to the last segment, the Guardians sat around in a circle and were like, well, I'm gonna go this way. We're all gonna break up as a team. I'm gonna go this way. And then to watch the Titans do it as well, I was like, fuck you, Titans.
Yeah.
We don't give a shit.
We don't like the one moment worked so well, and this one where I was like, this is the fucking problem.
And clearly Dick is like, oh, fuck. what am I going to do? I've got no friends.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to my social life? Like, do you guys want to stay? And everybody's like, no, Dick. We're going to move on from you. It's not like we want to move on, but we want to move on from you.
I don't want to see you.
You are a terrible actor with terrible dialogue. Yeah. Sorry, Katelynn, keep going.
Oh, yeah, that was well. And then they had the Christmas flashback to make it more dramatic, like her death and everything like that. And then everyone walks away, and then it's like, oh, look, she's actually back.
They literally take a couple steps away. They're like, well, I guess we walk back home now.
Yep.
And then she just comes down from the sky, and I was like, what?
It was seconds.
I want to go back to, like, is this a good show or not? But it doesn't matter because it's over. Like, we can
It's
move
done.
on. Like, we
It's
never
done.
have to talk about it again.
And it honestly feels good. I'm so glad.
Dude.
I'm so fucking glad we got another one down, guys. Off our list. High fives all around. That's it for Titans. Pour one out. We will never see you again.
Moments of the week?
Oh, fucking... I was in celebration mode, Caitlin. But yes, moments of the week. You're
The dog.
absolutely right.
It's just the dog.
Yeah, it's the dog
It's the
sitting at
dog.
the table getting a fancy dinner like the good boy he is.
But
Right?
in a week with Cosmo, does Crypto hold a candle?
He's still a good boy.
He's a very good boy. I think he's part Sharpay, too, and that's what really gets me.
Oh my god! Because you're a High School Musical fan. Is that a character from High School Musical?
He really bops
Great
to the
pull.
top in my heart.
Great pull, Ryan. You nailed it.
Wait, is that true?
Yeah, you nailed it.
You guys are fucking infecting my brain, and I don't like it.
What's your moment of the week, Ryan?
My moment of the week is watching that demon's hands on the edge of his lava jacuzzi.
Uh-huh.
He made that lava jacuzzi for himself.
It was trying to have a chill dad day. And
Hoping, but like, you guys know how Father's Day works, right? As opposed to Mother's Day. Mother's Day is like, oh, let's celebrate the family. Father's Day is like, get the fuck away from me. I want to be in my lava jacuzzi. And he just gets fucking sorted, and all we see is his hands smacking the edge of his lava jacuzzi out of pain.
his little nails tip-tapping the edges.
Just like, I'm sort of bored by this, but like, also I like it, but also I hate it because I'm dying. It was a lot.
That is it for Titans, everyone. We've done it. Say goodbye. Coming up next, it's time for Ryan to talk about a website.
Oh my goodness, Cassie. I have the craziest website. It's called lavajacuzzi.com.
Oh.
Okay, I'm into it. Explain more about these lava jacuzzis.
Well, it's just like a lot of people like you are too weak to go into the jacuzzi. Like you'll
They're
dip a
hot.
toe, but
Yeah.
like you're like, oh no, and this feels like lava. And I'm saying no. It straight up is lava.
And that's for people who are weak. Like you want to.
No. It's not for people like you. It's for
Okay.
people that are me that like are very strong. But also the lava melts through
The jacuzzi?
Yeah, the jacuzzi and like the floor plan of the house, and then it goes into the house. Then there's lava in the house.
And then the floor is lava.
Then the floor is lava. Yeah.
Foolproof, genius product. It needs to be in everyone's house. Don't worry about how it's getting there.
But like, it's more of a prank thing. Like,
That's so fucking funny, right?
Call your friends and be like, "Hey, I love you so much. I'm gonna put a jacuzzi in your house, but fill the jacuzzi with lava, and then their entire house melts down, and their kids die.
Whew, it's a fucking classic one, right?
Also, their pets die, and also they lost their job.
Oh.
I've never heard of a more perfect prank in my life, so I'm going to send you over to my friend cybersprout.net because they love pranks like that. And you know what else they love? They love offering premium hosting that's specifically built for WordPress. And they handle it all, Ryan. They handle the security, the maintenance, the backups, the speed optimization. They work hand in hand with you. They focus on collaboration, and they fucking love lava. Cybersprout.net, your partner for digital world. Coming up next, it's the pull list. We are back for the pull list where we talk about all the other shows we watched this week. First show starting it off is Superman and Lois. On this week's episode of Superman and Lois, Natalie brings her boyfriend home to meet her dad, and John Henry loses his marble when he sees that they each go goo-goo gaga eyes at each other. Meanwhile, Lois questions her chemo friend, Pia, which leads to the reveal that she is Bruno Mannheim's wife, and he is doing everything in his power to cure her cancer. Taste buds, I ask you, do you think Clark is right to not try to use Kryptonian technology to save Lois because it wouldn't be fair to humanity?
How about this? Why don't we start here? What's crazier? The fact that you said losing his marble instead of multiple marbles, or said you created the term chemo friend.
Yeah,
Which
Like, you know,
That's what Lois called her. She's like, she's my chemo friend.
you have like your school friends, your
Who the
play
fuck
friends.
is Travis? My chemo friend.
This is my chemo friend. It's nothing to worry about. But we all have one of those. Lois's is Pia.
Your name is fucking Pia.
Is that a reference?
Well, okay, Mike said her name is supposed to be onomatopoeia, and her name is Pia. But they never say onomatopoeia. They just call her Pia. And so, Pia.
It's an unfortunate name, but it's out there.
Anyways, but the question you asked about the Clark.
Yeah.
So there's a moment in this episode where Jonathan and Jordan, the two boys, they are like, something's wrong with mom. It's more than dad and mom are telling us. So we're going to go to the fortress and talk to grandma, holographic grandma, and say, hey, is there anything that you can do to cure my mom's cancer? Because they're like, Clark probably hasn't done this yet. And so they go to grandma. They're like, there has to be something. There has to be Kryptonian technology. And grandma's like, no, she's not Kryptonian. She's human. We only have technology that can heal Kryptonian people. So they get upset. They're like yelling at grandma. So Clark has to leave Lois's treatment in order to get his boys.
His damn boys.
Get his damn boys.
Who came from his nuts.
Who came. Little nut boys. And tell them that, no, we can't do that. And then at the ferry, then we have the foil of, what's his face? Bruno Mannheim. He's doing literally everything in his power to cure his wife's cancer. Everything killing people, experimenting on metahumans, doing whatever he can to try to cure her. And so he's like, Clark and Bruno have it out, like, wouldn't you do anything for your wife if you could? And then Clark has to explain to his sons, like, no, even if we could use Kryptonian technology, we wouldn't, because other humans wouldn't be able to have it and we wouldn't be able to distribute it or whatever. It'd be unfair. And I was like, that is a horrible explanation.
That feels a little extra step that wasn't needed to bring to those kids.
Yeah.
Like, you could just leave it at, like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I could do. You don't need to add to them. Of,
you already heard grandma say that this ain't going to work on a human. You don't need to hear, like, even if it did, like, I wouldn't fucking use it. I'd watch your mom die. Your mom fucking die in front of all of us.
Yeah, it was a step a bit much that they didn't fully need.
It was the most savage thing Clark ever said, and I was like, that I did not approve of Clark. That was not good. We also get Natalie and her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Which they're adorable together. They're very cute. And John Henry, like, literally, he just starts snapping and just, like, yelling at Natalie and the boy because he can't handle seeing his little girl grow up. Mm-hmm. And Lois is there as his, like, guiding light. Lana's there. And every time that John Henry comes into Lana's room or there's like any interaction between them, there's always someone in the background going, ooh,
that's what I'm talking
and
about.
like, oh, or something.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
So I feel like there's got to be something that's going to be coming because they're cartoon like hinting at it.
Somebody's recording a early 90s pirate radio podcast in the next room. Toilet flush.
Was there any of our good friend Kyle in this episode?
Okay, so Kyle actually wasn't in this episode, but Chrissy was. Chrissy was, and there was a drama because Chrissy and Kyle just got caught by Lana. Uh-huh. So they know they're a couple. They're known as this. Chrissy's now the new Sloot. And Sarah basically calls her Sloot to her face.
Oh, dude.
And then Chrissy's like, we need to make up. And then Sarah's like, you're a fucking bitch. You stole my daddy. And Chrissy's like, no, I'm cool. We should be cool. And so they go to the movies together. Chrissy has like a bag of like treats for them to eat at the movie theater, which included weed gummies.
I'm sorry. She's the cool mom.
Chrissy's the cool stepmom because she has weed gummies and quote goes to Coachella and does some weird things sometimes.
I've been there when the stepmom brings out some illegal drugs.
But she's like, don't tell your dad.
Yeah.
And of course, we don't know if she gave Sarah the weed gummies, but she ate the weed gummies during the movie.
You'll notice that my right ear has no piercings, but my left ear, it's like pierced 8 times, and they all have feathers.
Yep.
Did you notice all my feathers?
All of our stories do collide, though, Cassie. It is wild because like all of them do, and I do love that about this. It felt very like comic booky how everything was like all piece together. Because then at the very end, John Henry to Nat's new boyfriend is like, I accept you. Like, I'm sorry for what I did and for trying to scare you off. And he's like, you know what? The boy says, women are strong. My mom's so strong.
So
like, she taught me. She's
women.
like, hopefully you can meet my mom soon. Guys, guess who? His name is Mateo. Guess who Mateo's parents are?
Who?
It is Bruno Mannheim and Pia. Are Mateo's parents.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. His parents are the bad ones.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
So that got tied in, and then also Lana got to see the weed gummy situation happen.
Oh.
Yeah, but she's like, she walked away
But
because
she's
like,
also down?
well, no, because she only saw it from afar, so they were just like laughing, having fun together, and she was like, oh no, I'm not a fun mom. I'm not anymore because stepmom's here.
Devastating.
Yeah, but it was a fun episode.
Can we go to the moment of the week?
Of course. Aside from weed gummies. So Lois and Pia, my chemo best friends, Lois gets like offends Pia when she like tries to say that you know more about Bruno than we think. And then Lois like breaks down because she's like, I literally have no friends. She's like, you are like the first friend I have, and I don't want you to just be a chemo friend. I want you to be a friend. And then Pia responds with, what does that mean? Do we have to get matching bracelets? And Lois says, no, I was thinking necklaces. And I thought that was a beautiful, very good
That's
moment.
when you know it's real when it's
Do you know how
necklace.
fucking hard it is, like, to listen to Katelynn talk about a show that only she watched and I didn't?
Yeah.
And like, you're like, any moments of the week, and I can't talk at all. Do you know how hard that is?
I'm
Do you know how
sorry
many moments
for-
I wanted to bust in there?
I'm sorry. You did
I
so
wanted to be a
good, Ryan.
buster.
This is This is Ryan's moment of the week.
Yeah. But we are all very proud of you, Ryan. You stayed quiet
Thank
for
you.
so long. It was
That
a
was
good
like
job.
6 minutes straight.
With no Ryan. It's crazy. That's it for Superman and Lois. It's Tuesdays on the CW. Our next show is The Flash.
Well, on this week's episode of The Flash, Iris is alarmed by Barry's disappearance, and Cecilia assures her everything will be okay. Meanwhile, Team Flash is alarmed by a mysterious substance. Meanwhile, Coyote develops a better understanding of what she can and cannot counter. Taste buds, I ask you this. How happy would you be if the mysterious substance Team Flash is affected by was a deadly dose of fentanyl?
That's how they make this season relevant. It's all been a PSA for fentanyl. Honestly, I would love it. I need it.
Wouldn't that be opposite if the opposite of the Flash, which I call Joe Biden, who moves at the slowest speed a man can move, came out after the end and was like, don't do fentanyl.
Hey, this drug could be dangerous. Don't do it.
Hi, I'm Barry Allen. Fentanyl's bad.
That's how fucking old Joe Biden is. He's like, I'm Barry Allen.
No, Joe. No, you are still Joe. You're Joe.
No, Joe, read the card over here, buddy.
Barry?
No, don't bury me.
I take fentanyl now. No, Joe. No.
They say I'm supposed to bury Allen. Where's Allen?
I can't dig my sciatica.
Sciatica caused by fentanyl. I'm Barry Allen, the Flash. Anyway, Joe Biden. Bye, Biden. Is that how he ends his speeches?
Joe, bye
Bye, Biden.
Joe Biden, my wiener.
Never forget.
Never forget. Hashtag never forget. Twin Towers?
what it
Fuck that.
Joe Biden, my wiener. Anyways, The Flash is Wednesdays on the CW. Our next show is Riverdale.
On this week's episode of Riverdale, the teens take center stage, more specifically the stage of the Riverdale Bandstand, America's hottest new old local teen dance show. Making it difficult to focus on the dance show is these damn horny kids that all want to fuck each other. Meanwhile, Jughead is trying to repair his relationship with the writer, and Veronica buys a movie theater. Taste buds, I ask you this. Why can't these damn kids keep their hands off each other?
You know why. That's what Riverdale's been about since episode 1. That's their main thing.
Horniness?
Horniness.
Yes, they'd be fucking.
Date.
And Veronica be buying shit.
Girls be buying and they be fucking.
So I'm supposed to understand that all teens are not horny at all, but these teens are very horny?
These teens are extra horny. There's a base level teen horny, and these ones are exceeding that horniness.
Some of these teens want to go winka winka on the one part, and then winka winka on the other part.
Exactly. You get it now.
So they do that on the bandstand show, and that makes the adults very upset.
So they basically like dry hump in front of all of them
on TV, on camera.
wow.
Yeah.
and this we're still in like
In
the
the
50s,
50s,
so
yeah.
it's like it's no good.
It's the
No.
50s.
Betty decides that she's going to take the bandstand down by doing a twist, a spin, just like a big ass dance spin, which is a dance, right? Like
Yeah.
it's legal to do on the show. But she's going to wear pink underwear and show everyone the underwear.
Wow.
Right? Can I ask you? Did anybody upside down twerk against a wall? Did they bring in the new
No,
moves?
there's nothing that crazy.
Darn it.
And Cassie, I watched that Betty scene 13, 14, 15 times, and that did not happen.
That tracks. I'm worried that I need to completely shut this segment down. But what else happened in Riverdale?
I mean, the rest of it was like Jughead was like, "Hey, Ryder, you got mad at me. I'm sorry. Are you cool?" And then they were cool. It was good. It was good. It really pointed out how like the more parents are upset about like sex or nudity, the more kids are like, "We're gonna do it," and fuck you. How about that? How about that, parents? Fuck you.
Yeah. Was there? Should we go to moments of the week, or was everybody?
Yeah, I think we could go to moments of the week.
What was yours?
My worst moment of the week, Cassie,
Yeah.
is that in this episode, Veronica bought movie theater
God, I forgot. Yeah.
and made a commercial that was like, "This is where you go to find sadness, to find a heartbreak. This is where you do it." And Riverdale used to be like the beating heart of pop culture, and now it is 3 years later than like.
Is this like the Nicole Kidman, like
they're trying to do a
AMC?
Nicole Kidman
wow.
thing, and like this is 3 years late.
Yeah.
And like before I watched this episode, there was nothing on Twitter about how like Riverdale was like doing this thing about Nicole Kidman. Nobody gives a shit.
That's what, like, before, if it was on track like it used to be, it would have been all you saw for at least a day.
Yeah.
But no. It's just, I had
Nothing. Literally nothing.
I don't see anything about it anymore.
What was the purpose of her buying a theater? Just because she could?
Her parents were about to buy it.
Gotcha.
And turn it into a parking lot. And so what she did instead was take one of her paintings from her collection and say, "This is worth double what they were going to pay you."
Fucking
And then now she owns the Babylonium.
Even when they're doing good, I hate rich people.
But just watching her in the balcony, being like, "This is what it's like to watch a movie if you're Nicole Kidman." Like,
It's rough.
yeah.
Riverdale's Wednesdays on the CW. Our next show is Gotham Knights. On episode 8 of Gotham Knights, Turner's watch is acting up, which obviously means that it is a part of a clue to the Court of Owls meeting spot. So Dwella and him go to crash it. Meanwhile, Stephanie is dealing with her mom's addiction, and Harvey is starting to realize that there is a dark side to his lapse in memories. Taste buds, I ask you, the GK have started labeling their bad guys that they take down with things like, "This one bites." What warning label would they write on your head?
Ooh.
Poo-poo and pee-pee.
Not in general, like, just like, no warning that this one does poo-poo pee-pee all the time, like, just like, or you are a poo-poo pee-pee head, like, just vague up for interpretations. Poo-poo pee-pee.
Point arrows to my mouth,
And
then here goes poo-poo pee-pee.
hate it. Gross. Terrible.
I think Mike would just be stinky.
Stinky.
But that's about his feet, though.
It's about him.
It
It's him.
radiates
Do
to
you guys
where
think
his feet-
right now, have to tell the truth? Do his feet stink worse than his poop?
Ooh. Yes.
Did you hear that, Mike?
Stinky.
Stinky. Gotham Knights is Tuesdays on the CW. Our final show of the week is Sweet Tooth.
On the second episode of this season of Sweet Tooth, we get the other side of the first episode, where we see how Jeopard and Amy got into the base and got Gus's stuffed animal to him. They aren't able to get the kids out as they have to leave and plan their next rescue attempt. Meanwhile, Abbott is going across the country claiming to have the cure to this disease. And Bear signs up for the Last Men. Taste buds, I ask you this. Did you see that one girl with did you see the little girl with the bird eyes?
I somehow keep missing this
This
creature
is insane.
that's like
This
really
is insane.
like psychological, like messing you up. Which one is this one?
Her name is Junior, and her eyes are bird eyes.
I'm gonna look her up right now. Don't look at my screen because
All
I
right,
don't want trauma
I'm gonna
for
go to
you.
you, Caitlin.
Yeah.
So we're 3 episodes in right
Yes.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still like, fuck yeah, I want to see what happens in the show?
I still want to know what's going to happen in the show. Our last, I think the second episode was more exciting than the third episode. The second episode, I mean, we got the same story, but like a different side of it, but it also gave us hope for what's going to happen next.
If we were a better podcast, we would have done 1 and 2 in the same episode.
It would have worked better, but again, we go episode by episode, so we're just trying here.
Yeah.
We're, you know what? We're just trying.
We're just trying.
We're just doing our darnest.
But it is like Sweet Tooth is in this weird spot where like these first ones haven't like instantly got me like the earlier seasons have, but I don't know if I'm just too deep in it. Like I have to know now at this point, so they could give me whatever, and I'm gonna follow the rest of the story.
They're also doing a good job at giving us nuggets of hope, and I feel like that's why I want to watch it more and like continue watching it is because we're getting very little, but we are getting something each episode that will take me to the next one.
I know, but like when Gus picks up his stuffed animal, it's
Dog.
They're here, that like it makes my eye twitch, and I'm like, fuck you, show. Like you're clearly trying to make me watch more. I don't want to watch more. Like,
yeah,
That's your nugget.
that's your little nug. Enjoy it. But they do have like I still want to see whatever's happening with Gus's fake mom, the scientist lady. 'Cause
Yes.
now she's seeming like a bad person because now she's like it seems
Yeah.
a darker thing of what this
bad
stemmed
or
from.
complicated.
Yeah.
It seems like was his mom, who's in Alaska right now, or like in some sort of cold place.
And is she still alive?
She is
Still
still alive
alive.
because she just talked to Bear. She talked to Bear in episode 1, I think. And
See, that's the shit that I'm like, I'm not gonna.
but
fuck
is
this
she
up.
the same person that was Project Midnight Sun, like the person
I
who
think
started
she's
it?
supposed to be the same
because
person.
they're both blonde people, and
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference between
No, I
the two.
guarantee you that Gus's mom, quote unquote, is as helpful and hopeful as she is evil and responsible for everything that has happened.
Yeah.
And there's still enough mystery, and again, I've just put too much time in it that I will be here for it.
Yeah.
So, and it's not terrible. It just kind of exists at this point.
But it's like
It
I
has
bought
good
a-
acting.
yeah,
I bought a lemon of a car. I'm just gonna keep repairing
I'm
the
gonna
car.
fucking-
Yeah,
I'm in it.
Like, I sunk too much money in it. And like, I want to bounce, but like the fact that the two of you are doing it, I'm just
in
gonna
it.
do it. Like,
but
let's
it
just
does.
do it.
Like you said, like Big Man, like now that Big Man was in it, I thought I would like be more into it, which I was, but it still wasn't full. I think I need Gus and Big Man, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is though? For me, it's not the lack of big man. It's Mrs. And I apologize for not remembering her name, Mrs. Singh. Bringing those vegetables, like putting those vegetables in. But
Yeah.
Mrs. Singh knows that hybrids are
Like
They're
kids.
basically kids, yeah.
people. That's what I'm all about.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm all about Mrs. Singh figuring out how these
This,
kids are
yeah,
going to work.
these children are dying to keep her alive.
Right. And you know that she's going to bring down Chutes and Ladders or Scrabble, and then they're going to fucking hang out. They're going to bond. It's going to be amazing.
And then she's going to eat one.
But right.
Right in front of all of them. She's
All
like,
in front of them. She's like,
watch me.
Bird Eyes, you're going first.
That's what if they connect with Bird Eyes? What if she only plays game with Bird Eyes?
Are we talking about both episodes right now or just the one?
Both of them, yeah.
Okay. So episode 3, we are introduced to Peter.
Lyle Alligator?
Yes.
Yes.
He is part crocodile kid, but goddamn it, he's just a fucking croc with legs.
Yeah.
This
Oh
is
my god.
Suicide Squad,
Yes.
like
Killer
Was
croc.
there any practical here?
like a real boy.
Was there any like
Maybe
sort of
legs.
practical effects? You think they might have had, like made legs and had them run around?
I think someone might have been the legs that walked around and then they CGI'd the
that
croc on it.
that does make it cooler to me. I do like the practical effects, but when it's time to say like when it's time for Gus to say like what's your real name, he's like
It's perfect, Ryan. It's a perfect.
That
moment.
is what was like, this is why I'm watching the show. Because for fucked up shit like this, I'm like, hell yeah.
because Ian Gus's friend's Dudgeon is like what do you think, like 10, 12,
Yeah.
adorable. Elephant Face Boy.
Don't forget about Bobby.
And Bobby.
Fucking
I love Bobby.
the star of Caddyshack 2. And then there's also Peter Leg Eater, who lives on a fucking floor of a building and just chomps people's legs because he's mostly alligator, and that is fucking gross.
But Peter can talk too. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how Peter learned how to talk, but he is also a little
From the chickens, probably, that he was eating.
And we are talking about Gus being. Gus has a clear analogy now, right? Like Gus standing there and having Peter run at him. Like, he's just Jesus. He's just
Gus is Anakin. Gus is the chosen one. I'm sorry, not Anakin.
No,
Anakin's bad. He's Vader. I get it. Okay,
I get it. I'm sorry.
Spoilers. I get it.
But yeah, how we say Jesus around Caitlin is he's Anakin.
It's Anakin.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you. Or General Grievous. I'll take either.
I did enjoy that they gave us crocodile view for a little bit, where we were like running with him, and they gave us so long of a gator roll. I was honestly here for it. Like, that was like a good minute that gator did a gator roll.
I can't believe no one talked about the fact with crocodiles, all you have to do is shut their mouth closed, and they can't do anything.
It's like Steve didn't teach them anything.
Yeah, it's like was Steve not around? Steve Irwin, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Was Steve not there to teach you this?
Steve Irwin, who died from
a stingray.
A stingray barb.
From getting destroyed by the animals he tried to control.
No, he died because the cameraman pulled the barb.
Yes, that is why
it is.
Yeah, it's always man's fault and
not animal, and he would never want anything bad to happen to a stingray, even though you want to punch him. It's okay.
So, Caitlin, are you saying that I should do what I always want to do, which is when Cassie is talking too much, I just grab her nose and lips and just clench them?
She's just like a crocodile.
Same like a croc. Same technique. Women be like crocs.
What shoes are you wearing right
We
now?
death roll.
I am in crocs. I stay in them. I don't know. Should we go to Moments of the Week? Do we cover
guys,
these
I'm
episodes?
so on the edge, and if you guys continue to watch the show, I'll do it. But I want to drop it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in it.
The one part where I agree with you, where it's like this could be dropped, is all the part with the cartoon general guy and Abbott.
He's more cartoony than the alligator character.
He's 100% unbelievable. I hate him. Anytime he comes around, it's awful. And I don't feel like it ties into the show at all.
It really feels like this, and we talked about this before, but he was the actor was show me the top 5 villains of the last 25 years at the same time, and I will be all of them at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to Moments of the Week, though. Ryan, what do you got?
My moment of the week is where Dr. Singh put so many drugs around Gus that they start to go through a flashback. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, I'm on so many drugs. What's even happening?
You guys were both tripping together, but it didn't sync up for you guys.
I don't want to go on a solo trip. I just want to go on girls trips where we're together.
Girls trip. Caitlin, what was your moment of the week?
Peter.
Fucking Peter.
Peter's saying his name. Peter. Just saying.
It's absolutely. It's Peter's the moment of the week. It was seeing a creature more fucked up than Bobby. They were like, hey, people either enjoy or hate Bobby. Let's make one creature so mind-bodilingly fucked.
And Bobby's the tops. Bobby's the bee's knees.
If Bobby doesn't get his neck thing off where he cannot escape.
Bobby, stay behind. He said,
God.
Bobby dies in a hole.
I can't have that.
Bobby is legit, he's part of your family.
I love Bobby. I
can't stand Bobby.
I love him.
Bobby gets left behind. Can't wait for that. That's what's keeping me going to watch Sweet Tooth.
I want to watch his head explode. I want to watch it. He goes out of the range.
The perimeter?
And his head fucking explodes.
Oh my God. That's what I thought was going to happen, which scares me.
I think it's just a GPS. I don't think we have to worry about his head exploding. I think
I am scared for his head.
I'll make his head explode.
Oh no. Okay, but Peter, the ankle eater, when he gets introduced to these kids, I also want to watch just to see how that happens, because there is some feathered creatures in there.
Yeah, there's gonna be some ones he's gonna want to do a bit on.
Yeah, he's doing bits just like Mike.
Sweet Tooth is on Netflix. You should watch a couple episodes a week with us. That is it for the poll list, you guys. I'd like to thank Mike has already left the studio. I thanked him for his time earlier. I like to thank Caitlin and Ryan for helping me out do this.
Oh, of course, Cassie. Like, we'll always do it.
Yeah, you guys are always here for me, except for at the end when I absolutely need to kick you guys out of the studio. Caitlin, I'll start with you. Goodbye. This is your time. Shutting off your lights, shutting off your mic.
Closing time.
Actually, I won't shut off your mic because I do need to bring somebody on here. I do actually have Peter the Ankle Eater himself to tell me about some websites. Peter, welcome to the pod.
Hi.
Hi, Peter. I've heard you like ankles.
Hi.
Is it hi? Yes, hi. If you could rank the body parts that you bite, ankles number 1, hands number 1,
Thigh.
That's the meat, obviously. You know what's up. I've heard you also know what's up with websites. Can you tell me about some websites?
Nigh.
Nigh? As in no? Like a Shakespearean no? Peter, do you know Shakespeare?
Sky.
Oh god, he just rhymes. Oh no, I didn't know it was like a Dr. Seuss thing I was getting with you. This is it, huh?
Your pop filter.
Hell yeah.
Dot.
You did it.
Go. Slash. Amazon.
You shop on Amazon?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Peter.
Good chickens.
Good chickens. You get live chickens through Amazon?
Yeah.
Fucking Amazon, man. I think we also got a Patreon.
Patreon.com/. Your pop filter.
Perfect. Thank you. You nailed it. Here's a whole chicken for you. Destroy that, Betty. Ryan, I now need you to leave. Bye, Ryan. Thank you so much for your time.
Sure. No, it's been great, but I feel like I deserve to be here. Based on like my performance tonight, I feel like it was really good. But no, I'll leave.
You're leaving as an all-star, Ryan, though. Remember that. I do have here Demon Daddy on vacation in his lava jacuzzi. We're interrupting it so he can tell us about some other shows.
Where is...
A lot of gravelly people I've brought on.
What?
Nothing, sorry. It was kind of more of a note to
Where
me.
is my daughter, Julieta Manga?
I'm sorry, which one is that now?
I have lost my daughter, Julieta Manga.
How do you lose a daughter?
I have lost a daughter. You will lose a soul.
Oh, no. What if I told you it was lost a long time ago?
Your soul?
My soul.
That's fine. Where is my daughter? Julieta Manga.
I haven't seen her. I'll kind
She
of...
was waiting in the waiting pool.
The waiting pool.
We were on a cruise. I was at the all-you-can-eat buffet. All-you-can-eat, pancakes nor waffles. Eat everything you can. Neither it'll be pancake nor waffles. And all of a sudden, my daughter died.
Oh, so she's not really lost. She's more dead?
Did you kill her?
No, you said she was in the waiting pool.
You said that you killed her.
I don't think I did.
I said someone killed her, and you were like, uh-huh.
And I was like...
Let me do my
best
best Cassie impression. I was
Go for
like...
it. You have the
I was
mic.
like, hello, I am a demon. And I'm like, where's my daughter? And Cassie walked up, and she was like, oh, I killed her. So where is she then?
It's weird that I took Ryan off mic and you're bringing a lot of Ryan energy here. It's so crazy.
Who is this Ryan you speak of?
You guys want to be best friends,
I
let me
miss
tell you.
my daughter.
I haven't seen her, but
I have many offspring.
I'm gathering that if you're losing ones at an all-you-can-eat buffet in the wade pool, like if there's some disputable ones
But
for sure.
where is my specific daughter that I have lost? Her name is
You remember him.
Fire Breath
Fire Breath is...
the Third.
She's gone.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, nope, right there, standing. You brought her to the studio.
I found her.
Since we found that one, can you now tell me about some other shows?
Sure. Fire Breath the Third has an incredible singing podcast where she goes about and sings until her heart is content, and her heart is content by singing only the most beautiful notes that you have ever heard in your entire life.
Can I hear one of those notes?
Yes. Fire Breath the Third. Come up here.
hold on. She has a problem getting up here. Oh, she's spilled. Oh, she's spilled.
What?
She's spilled again. No, she keeps falling down.
There's no cups here.
No, she's trying to get upon my knee, and she's spilled.
Well,
what?
help her up.
No, well, I cannot help her. Okay, so fire breath ahead. Are you ready to sing? She's ready to sing.
Okay.
Now, what do you think about that? Do you think that's a 10 or a 10 plus?
That's a 10 plus all the way.
I was about to say it was a 10 plus. I didn't want to interrupt you before you were about to say it's a 10 plus, but it's a 10 plus.
That's undoubtedly a 10 plus. I was not expecting that.
Have you ever heard someone say so succinctly, Whitney Houston, we have a problem? That's her voice. It's amazing.
Oh, her podcast again, just so everybody can get that good tone.
But anyway, what did you want me to say tonight?
Some other shows.
Okay.
I know she has a podcast.
So I'm a demon, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And as a demon, I put my hands on my jacuzzi and I hold it tight as I listen to these. Look, when I listen to a podcast, I fucking pour a deep dish of lava jacuzzi and I hold on to it tight and I listen to Movie of the Year. Well, talk about the single greatest movie of any given year.
Flawless. It's a good podcast.
Is there any more?
Nope, that's the best one. That's the one to focus in on. You do have to listen to it in a lava jacuzzi, though, so go ahead and do that. We also have social media at Your Pop Filter. We got an email, contact@popfilter.co. And next week, my friends, it is a big week because we're saying it's the penultimate episode of The Flash, and it's the ultimate, final, very last episode of X-Men, the animated series. It's devastating and very sad. I don't like to hear about that. It's going to be a sad time, but it's going to be a great time. So be sure to catch that one. For Mike, I'm Ryan. For Ryan, I'm Mike. For Katelynn, I'm me. And for me, I'm me. Bye, everyone.